Good morning, everyone. It's June 2nd, 2021. And again, welcome to all of you joining me this morning for Mornings with the Manager. Things have changed, as you can tell. Here at Colton Hall, at the very moment, we have about 40 to 50 children, all with face masks, but they are playing with some of their teachers outside in the lawn area in front of Colton Hall. And it's the first time that I hear again children, large groups of children playing and making noise in front of Colton Hall. So this is a welcome sound here for all of us, seeing people, seeing children active again and playing outside. And I just stood at the corner and watched for a second, and I can tell you they all are wearing face masks, and but they're having a blast. You can tell how happy they are. So we are in the yellow tier officially today. Yesterday, the county of Monterey, as well as our neighboring county, San Benito County, moved into the yellow tier. That means that a lot more things can be more frequented or can be more opened. Restaurants can open inside to up to 50% of their seating capacity. Bars are allowed to open. We can have more people in our sports center. Conventions can be taking place outside with more people. So a lot of things are opening gradually up. The big date for the state of California remains June 15th as the date when the governor intends to lift all restrictions for the whole entire state of California. The numbers are looking really encouraging right now. I think in the whole 93940 area in the city of Monterey, we have just 3 active cases of COVID-19. I went this morning onto the CHOMP Montage Health website and saw that they returned to a different format again. It's their splash page doesn't automatically link you to the COVID-19 page. They do not report anymore how many cases they have in the hospital. So they changed their website to a degree, and I take this also as a sign that the city and the county is returning to more normal circumstances here in the city of Monterey. What we also see is a real vaccine fatigue. Yesterday, we had the fire department again out at the old Monterey Marketplace, or the Tuesday Farmers Market, as people call it. It was the second time that the farmers market was held, and it was also the second time that the fire department was there to offer vaccines for anyone who walks in and asks for a vaccine. And yesterday's numbers were supported by the California incentive program. So everyone who would have received a vaccine yesterday was signed up by us automatically for a $50 gift card that the state of California is sponsoring. So again, yesterday we had the fire department there, and we had 7 people who took the vaccine. So 7 is better than 0, but looking at our overall data here in the city of Monterey, we are about in the low 60 percentile right now with vaccination rates. We still want to be more proactive here and find people who are willing to get the vaccine, and so we are not giving up, and we will continue to promote those small events or larger scale events. But it's very clear that most of the folks who wanted to have the vaccine have received the vaccine, and now it comes really down to continuously offering vaccines and moving the needle a little bit higher towards the percent mark of 70%. I think is what was probably a good number we should strive to achieve. So If you're interested again, let us know. If you have any ideas who we are overlooking with respect to the vaccines, let us know as well. We will do our best to organize events or let other providers know as well. Overall, you heard the data from the CDC across the nation. Everything is trending absolutely in a very positive way. It does not mean, though, that we should become negligent, or it doesn't mean that we should be not aware of possible variants that can affect our lives still. As I said many times before, with mornings with the managers, but also as I stated to the council, only the virus determines the pace of our recovery. It's only the virus who lets us know what direction we have to move. And so we need to remain vigilant, and we need to try to be ahead of the curve like we are right now. So I see also in town that we have the visitors are back. The past Memorial Day weekend was affected by the weather, but nevertheless, we overall our indications are that the town was full, that also the hotels were pretty much booked out. We saw in our parking data a lot of folks have returned to Cannery Row. We always had good data at the waterfront parking lot around Wharf number 1. But we could see now also that Cannery Row is frequented more and more, and showed a nice boost there in parking rates. And that means, of course, also that the aquarium, as well as the restaurants and the souvenir shops there and other places there, have been frequented as well. So that's all good news. The indications are for us that we will probably miss our TOT target for this fiscal year. We had a relatively low number. We estimated it's about $15 million that we hoped we would get over a 12-month period. Compare that with a normal year where we are shooting at around $29 million, so about 50% less TOT, más o menos. But we are probably ending the fiscal year with respect to the hotel tax. I want to cautiously say anywhere between $500,000 to $1.25 million below our estimate. So we hope that the May shows stronger numbers, and of course we also hope that June shows a good number. Esther asked a good question. We have looked at, we had vaccination offered at the head of Wharf 1 a couple of weekends ago, and during I think a 4-hour period, I think we administered, if I recall the number correctly, something like 12 or 15 vaccines. This is a good suggestion to see if there, with the incentive program, if there are more people willing to get shots in the arm, and I will make that proposal also to our fire chief and see what we can do. Maybe we find more folks from the tourism, more tourists that would be willing to take a shot based on the incentive program. Now, the good news that I wanted to share with you about the incentive program, every one of you who have already received the shots are included into the big lottery of winning $1.5 million, I think is the 10 big awards, and your chances to win this is right now 1 in 2.2 million cases. So that's a pretty good odds. So if you play Mega Ball in the state of California, it's 1 in 300 million. But the lottery right now is retroactive also for all those of us who have received their vaccinations in previous weeks or months. So anyways, we will need to see how the vaccination are developing, and we'll keep pushing to find arms, and also to consider every good idea that will help us to get people out there, to find people out there who might, for various reasons, not have received vaccines. So the town, I was starting to talk a little bit about the estimated budget and the how sign up for the lottery. If gotten the vax, you already signed up because your name was in all likelihood registered when you got the vaccination in the California system. And I cannot tell you which system right now tracks all the names. My turn, California has had some challenges. I know we started using a different system also in the beginning before we switched to my turn. But according to the state, all those names are part of the lottery. So I hope that answers that question. Let's talk about briefly about the budget. We will present to the council on June 15th a balanced budget. The budget will bring back the neighborhood improvement program. The budget will also contain the rehiring of positions that were previously laid off. We cannot be roaring back like other cities. You see a headline in the Monterey County Weekly, Seaside is rehiring workforce. And then you read the article and you see what they are bringing back. And you realize that the city of Monterey and other cities are really disproportionately affected by the federal funding that we received through the American Rescue Plan. Seaside, for instance, received a good chunk of additional dollars that are not just offsetting their losses, but they are giving them more money back than the actual revenue losses were. In the same case is in Salinas or in the city of Watsonville or city of Capitola. For us, it's slightly different here in Monterey, as I shared with you. Our American Rescue Plan funding does cover about 20% of our experienced revenue losses, and this is really less money in the city coffer. So of that, we're getting 20% back. Nevertheless, we will be hiring back employees for the library. We are bringing back employees into the sports center, into the recreation centers, and also into the conference center, and also here and there in other departments that were previously had frozen positions or laid off positions. So the budget will show that we are moving into the right direction, but we have to do this fiscally responsible. And we really have to use every single dollar that we are receiving from the American Rescue Act, that we need every single dime in order to balance our budget. And there are rumors out there, people are discussing it in Washington. Senators, I want to basically point to some Republican senators who are discussing openly to take some of the funding of the American Rescue Plan, to take it and put it into infrastructure, basically mandating that the funding has to be used for certain infrastructure projects. And that is in connection, of course, with the president's attempt to create an infrastructure bill. Now, like I said, of the $6.5 million that we are receiving, $6.5 million is needed to balance the budget. If there are do-gooders in Washington that want to tell us how to spend the money, that will throw a wrench into our expected budget. So we are looking really forward to June 15th. We are working feverishly to get everything connected and try to present also a complex budget in a way that everyone will understand how it came all together. We don't plan on using any reserves for this year to balance this budget. Usually we have a 2-year budget that we are presenting. It will be just a 1-year budget because that's where we feel the most comfortable in presenting budget. The fairness question that is raised in the chat box with respect to which city got what is a good question. It is very hard to solve that right now. That there are also folks out there that are looking at the city of Monterey as a very wealthy city, as a city that can easily recover from the economic devastation, just because we have over 6,600 hotel rooms in the city, and we have a conference center. So it's a difficult argument to talk about fairness there when you point to other cities that really have other socio-demographic and economic data points that basically show to a degree that they are less blessed with revenue sources like the city of Monterey. So it's a very difficult conversation to have. I will not shy away from having that, but I need to be also very conscientious, understanding that Monterey wants to be a partner, and we want to be also somebody who shows that we understand our neighboring cities' challenges that they also have, and that we are not coming across as a city that really is jealous about fund allocations that they receive. It is a large difference when you look at the numbers. As I always said, I'm just grateful that we got $6.5 million, because without that, it would have been a much heavier lift to get the budget balanced. Want to talk briefly also June 15th. Stay tuned. We are planning on having an agenda item on there with respect to Laguna Grande Park. What that will basically do is we will agree to manage the funding that will come from various sources for the plan that is being developed right now. And we will also allocate about $25,000 of our own funding into that joint venture between the Parks Agency, the City of Seaside, and Monterey. And we started already the biological survey in order not to lose a year. So we are really looking forward to get the Laguna Grande Park tied up with respect to the consultant contract that we have awarded, and that will be also on the June 15th. Richard Hubbard asked a question: do you think that the sports center income could ever pay for the library? No, never ever will this happen. The Monterey Sports Center is designed to be an institution that is hopefully financially supported by itself, but it will never create a profit. The reason for that is plain and simply that the city council has implemented a policy that want to keep the pricing in the sports center affordable for all. And the payoff, and I've discussed this many times with a lot of folks who said, well, you should charge more. The payoff really is that the council created the sports center as a community benefit. It can be subsidized up to 25% of the cost for the conference center, for the sports center. That is the policy. Up to 25% of the dollar spent can come from the city. 75% needs to be cost recovered. And the idea is to have a healthy community, to have folks out there exercising, meeting each other. And when you are in the conference center, when you're in the sports center, you will see that this is really the lifeblood of many people. Many of our residents are congregating there. You see the same players, the same cliques every day at the sports center hanging out. It is really a fitness and community center. So the sports center will never be in the position to fund a $2 million operation of the library. The library is an organization that will cost us right now about $2 million, give or take $100,000 here and there. And it will probably end up again to be a library that will cost us about $2.5 million to possibly $3 million. That was what we had budgeted for the past normal fiscal year. But the sports center in itself is not capable of funding that. As a matter of fact, we are looking at declining numbers in the sports center. We don't expect that everyone will be coming back. Our revenue estimate for the sports center is actually pretty conservative for the next 12 months, although we are very, very surprised by how many people have come back, and more importantly, there appears to be a huge demand for swimming in the two pools that we have. The classes for therapeutic exercises in the water, swim lessons, etc., are completely sold out. And in the end, we will try or we will manage, not try, we will manage the sports center in a way that the subsidy, that the support that the city has to give there is really minimized. In certain years, we had a cost recovery of up to 90% in the sports center. So we're trying to do that, but I think it's a good policy that the council has to not outprice the sports center, to keep it affordable, to provide all the services that we have in the sports center, to just get a lot of folks into the sports center. If you live in Monterey, you pay a different rate than if you live in Pacific Grove and Carmel. We have adjusted the rate, and we heard from many customers that they were okay with our rate adjustments as well. So sports center, thank you for the question, is a great question. Conference center, we are bringing back also folks there. We are starting to see again business picking up in the sports center. As a matter of fact, tomorrow we will have an event in the Sports Center in the morning where the Monterey Bay Defense Alliance will present an economic impact report, basically an analysis that shows how much of the federal spending in the military installation has been done in the county of Monterey, and how do those dollars multiply? How do they translate? And having military installations here means also that the schools have kids in the schools, and the schools get paid per child from the state of California. So there are a lot of interwoven parts of that. And tomorrow there will be our first meeting in the conference center, and I think about 80 to 90 folks will be showing up in the Sarah Ballroom, and it will be completely spread out and safe to attend. Last but not least, want to speak briefly about wildfires. The wildfire season has started. Our fire department is moving around, and we will be walking through the neighborhoods. The fire department will leave notes at the doors telling people what they have to do to get their house in the green belts better protected. This time of the year, when compared to last year, and remember what a fire season we had last year, but again, at this specific time, today, we had 5 times more acreage burned in 2021 than we had in 2020. So let that sink in. The wildfire season has started. You heard about the fire in San Ardo that is down south going on right now. And so it's just a matter of time again when our firefighters will pack the bags and go to 2 to 3 weeks deployments in different locations here in the state of California. Again, our city will allocate funding into greenbelt fuel reduction, and that will be immediately available also July 1st. We are still working in the greenbelts, and we will continue working in the greenbelts to clean up our city areas, forested areas, to ensure that we are better protected. We also have coming to us a new wildfire engine. That is a second one that we will then have in our inventory. And again, that will help us also to deploy rapidly fire engines, specialized wildfire engines, to go into forested areas. Last year, the river fire was really something significant for me personally, because the fire had moved so close to the city of Monterey that, as you recall, certain neighborhoods adjacent to Monterey, the one along Highway 68, had to evacuate. And we were ready here in Monterey as well to to look at various evacuation scenarios for our city. So we're taking wildfires very seriously. We are patrolling areas like Old Capitol site, Dondavi Park, Jacks Park, other areas are constantly out there. But if you see something, please let us know, and we will try to abate and mitigate as much as we are allowed to do so. With that said, I hope also that June 15th will bring some relief for us with respect to the encampments that you see alongside our highways. There are concerns about so-called warming fires that are being observed on Caltrans property. And I really hope that also June 15th we get some different guidance from the governor that allows Caltrans also to really go in and abate those spots that are really dangerous for the public, general public. My last item for the wildfires is I encourage all of you, if you haven't done it, sign up for the Monterey alert. That's very important to be connected to Monterey County Emergency Operations Center. They will send you alerts. They will let you know what's going on, and we have to be vigilant. That's just part of living in California in a time where we really have a lot of drought here. So with that, I want to thank you again for your patience with me, listening to me, and asking me your questions. I very much appreciate you as always. And if you have a question or need more information, please shoot me an email and I'll try to either answer it personally or send it to the person who knows better than I what's going on for that particular topic. With that, stay safe out there. Things are looking way up than they were a year ago, and let's keep fingers crossed. We need to remain careful, vigilant, and be prepared for whatever life will throw us. Thank you for all what you're doing. Have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.